We have been talking to all sorts of different people this year, and we've gone through all different professions. A couple of weeks ago, we spoke to an accountant. Last week, we spoke to a hip hop artist. This week, we're speaking to you. And each time we speak to these people, we like to ask about what COVID has done to their day-to-day life. And so you're in video production.
Yes.
And we just wanted to, speak a little bit about that profession and how it may have changed during this past year plus.
Catastrophic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very lucky that my wife has a job in healthcare.
Yeah.
Which has been affected by COVID, certainly, but it
Right.
hasn't made it less. There's plenty of work in healthcare. So, and we're a little older, so we're not. If I had bought the house last year,
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
it would be in foreclosure right now.
Yeah.
So I haven't worked since April.
Wow.
It's been really, really last April. So it's been really, really tough. I lost my mom also to COVID during
I'm
that
sorry to
period.
hear that.
No, I'm sorry. to hear
So it was a really tough year. Been on unemployment, but thank God it's there.
Yeah.
I really is so happy that it's there, and so many people have it worse than I do. So I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. But it's if anything, besides the financial issues, which really aren't so bad for us personally, but it's just that not working. I love my job.
Right.
Yeah.
Not everybody loves their job. You like your job. You like your job. I love my job too. I've traveled. I've been to 4 Super Bowls. I've been to Madagascar. I've been to all these different countries across Australia a few times, across the world. Meeting new people, interviewing them. I do the sound part of it. I put these.
Yeah.
Great.
Things
Hope we can live up to it.
Well, I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
The technology is so good now that really my job is. But
Cut
carrying.
that part out.
cut that out. No, like carrying equipment, going through
Yeah.
airports. It's great. I've been lucky enough to work in audio since I was in my early 20s.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
So I went to school for English. I was going to be an English teacher. I wanted to be an English professor. And then my band at the time got signed to a really small label. We went on tour, put out an EP. And then I came back and I was like, am I going to go to grad school, or am I going to continue to record music? Because I was always the guy who had the 4-track and recorded my band, my friend's band, the techie kind of guy.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I love technology, and so been lucky in that fact. The last year it's been rough with COVID, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
And so, did you work for a production company, or were you freelancing for various productions? Like, what was the gig situation like exactly?
Yeah, I'm a freelance,
Okay. Yeah.
but I was steady enough that I should say years, maybe over the last 10 years prior, maybe less than 10, maybe 8 years prior, I worked a lot less because we have a son, and one of us had to stay home. So, and I had the
Right.
freelance job, so
Yeah.
I took a lot less work,
Yeah.
and my business was really growing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I still manage to work. And one of the people I work for lives right here in Bayside.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so he'll come pick me up in the morning, and we'll go to work. So, or I'll take the train, whatever it is. But
Yeah.
no, so I continue to work, and hopefully it all comes back. I think it will.
Yeah.
I think it will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard about anything starting to come back? I know some people that work in like the wardrobe prop area of film shoots, and
Right.
I've heard they're starting to try and figure it out, but it sounds kind of dicey.
Yeah, I mean, it's all based on how close people are to one another.
Right.
And, I saw some productions being done in the city. I saw some in LA. So yeah, listen, I have no doubt it's going to come back. So the media still goes on, and programs are still being shot, but it just outside of those, I think, of those shows basically. Plus, you can also shoot a show in another country or another state that's more
Right.
permissive. I'm just a New York guy, so whatever the New York rules are on COVID, from the mayor to the governor, really the governor, then I'm gonna have to follow them.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so as you're freelance, there obviously relationships is the big way that you get work. So
Definitely.
how do you maintain those in this time? I mean, I could imagine, we happen to be doing something that is very particular. So we talked to you about doing an interview, and there's no money exchange. We're just, so it's a fun thing. But I would imagine potentially if I were a freelance and I'm wanting for jobs, that there would be this, do I reach out? Am I bothering you? What's my relationship with this person? For some people, okay, we're very familiar long term. I wouldn't mind reaching out, but other people, I might be a little hesitant. Like, how does that work for you?
Right. I maintain my relationships with people that I work with. I've done it for a while, so I became friends with a lot of them.
Yeah.
And once they come back, then we'll come back together.
Yeah.
For all of us. So, I'm not really overly worried about it because we're all in the same boat.
Right.
Yes, of course.
And they need people to work, and I need them to hire me. So.
Right. Yeah, it's a mutually beneficial relationship.
Yeah, and I'm also a musician too, which I do on the side, just mostly for fun, sometimes for pay, and but I'm in a cover band that plays a bunch, and I write songs too. I don't perform those. I used to years ago.
Yeah.
But so that also got affected, because bars are closed, and even outdoor shows were closed. So, and the cover band I played in plays 30 to 40 shows a year. We played a lot of shows, especially over the summer, and all gone.
Right. Do you cover? Go on.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, are you still able to get together and practice a bit now?
No, we don't even practice, but we were together for quite a long time, so. We'll just get back and do it.
It'll
these are
work.
songs I've been hearing, since this classic rock stuff. Not stuff that I'm not necessarily. I'm more of an '80s guy, alternative '80s, '90s music kind of person. But and this is like '70s and '60s, which I love too. I don't want to put it down.
Yeah.
But it's like I've been hearing this stuff since I was a kid.
Right.
So
it'll
come right back.
What's your instrument?
I play guitar.
Okay, cool. So it'll just come through your fingers.
It just come. I mean, I play every day. Every day.
Yeah.
It's like if I don't play guitar on a day. I remember when I was in the Air Force, you go to basic training, and so that was 8 weeks, and then they had the last week we were able to go to the rec center, and I hadn't played guitar at that point almost 2 months.
Oh wow!
And I picked it up, and I was like, oh, it must be lefty.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a righty. I said, it must be a lefty because it feels so weird. It's just that I hadn't played it in 2 months.
Wow, that's crazy. Did it come back quickly though?
No, it came back.
It just felt.
I was just like, I was shocked by it, So that's how, that's why I play every day, and it's, it gives me a lot of peace.
Yeah.
Totally. And so 30 to 40 shows when the cover band is really going. Are they in Queens? Are they all over the 5 boroughs? Are you going to the Jersey Shore? Like, what's the range?
Yeah, it's basically a North Shore, like like College Point, this part of Queens, Bayside, out to say Oyster Bay.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really local.
Yeah. Somehow
Nice.
we fell into that, and we play all the bars and sometimes private shows, parties and stuff in between, and it's a blast. I love it.
I was gonna say it's gotta be a lot of fun.
It sounds
It's a
so
ton of
fun.
fun. Yeah. It's especially, we set up our own equipment, so there's no roadies. So
Right.
So when you first get there and you're bringing all the stuff out of the van, I got to go from my house to the van to the location, take it all out, set it up, get sound check. Everybody's rushing along, grab a beer, and then you play. All that stuff is work, but when you play, and if you're connecting,
right,
it changes everything, because there really is, and I'm sure people much more successful in the music industry than I am will tell you that when you play a show and the audience is reacting and they're with you on it, it makes this feedback loop.
right.
Oh,
And
so cool.
you could cut it with a knife, man. It's so great.
Yeah.
It's really so cool, because if they're enjoying themselves and they're singing and they're dancing and they want to hear more music, and then you feel that, and your performance just gets better.
Yeah.
And just goes on this loop, and so that's what I miss the most.
Right.
Yeah, that energy exchange is what I think we're all missing out on that to some degree. It's like being able to just be casually like enjoying yourselves in whatever your medium is.
Totally.
Yeah, I look forward to when we can come see you.
Yeah.
When this is all over,
What's
we
the
can
name of
actually
the
come
act?
out.
You're not going to walk there, are you?
Maybe.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be really great.
What's the name of the group?
It's called, I didn't name it. It's called Chicken Head. Because we're vintage people. And vintage amplifiers have these knobs called chicken head knobs.
Oh.
They're these like pointers. You've probably seen them.
Yeah.
So that's called the chicken head knob. So the bass player Eddie decided to call it chicken head, and we all just went with it.
That's
Nice.
great.
And so it works out.
That's great. And did you meet once you moved to Bayside? Have you known them longer? Like, how is it that?
Oh yeah. No, I know them because my friend Al Semerjian, who's a teacher and a poet and a musician, songwriter, he check out his website, alansemerjian.com. I recorded his band Surreal. They were called Surreal years ago, and I'm friends with Al. And Al knew Eddie, who I mentioned before, the bass player, who lives out in Seacliff. And so Eddie lives on the beach in Seacliff. You think by saying he lives on the beach, you think he's this incredibly wealthy man, but he's not. He's a regular working guy like me, and he's just wealthy in his life. But no, he bought his house at the same time, same year, same month that I did here.
Nice.
The market had gone down,
Nice.
and he and I didn't know him at the time, and he bought his house, I bought my house, and then I met him a few years later, I suppose, because every 4th of July he has a party at his house, and people come to Seacliff to watch the fireworks
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
to the beach there.
Yeah.
So they come by, and then there's a band playing. So I went there one time, and then we hit it off, and then the guitar player who was in the band left, and then they're like, "Paul, you want to join?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course."
That's awesome.
So that's how I made that connection.
Yeah.
And that serendipitous thing is what makes life kind of cool and
Yeah.
Totally.
interesting, you know?
Absolutely.
I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this segment. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button so that the algorithms that run our lives can continue to spread the joy that is this podcast.
Yeah, hit that little like button to spread the joy through the algorithms.